Good evening. It's me, Amiibo Doctor, and we are facing an issue of power creep. Now, for those of you unfamiliar with the technical game terminology, power creep is what happens when newly added content into a video game competes just as well with the old content, but usually better. So, for example, let's say you're playing a sword fighting game, and the best sword is the red sword. But the developers say, we'll sell everyone the blue sword, which is better than the red sword. It does more damage for $2. Everyone's going to go buy the blue sword, and nobody's going to go back to the red sword. So then later on down the line, the developers say, let's sell everyone the green sword, which does better than the blue sword for $2. So then everyone goes on to the green sword, and so on. That's power creep, because the old content isn't as powerful as the new content. Well, believe it or not, we might have that problem coming up with Amiibo. In previous videos, I've explained the unmistakable correlation between the tier list of the CPU metagame and the Amiibo tier list. And I've theorized in previous videos, which I'm sure I'll have a card up or something for them, that future Amiibo will be more powerful, specifically the DLC Fighter Pack 1. As you can see in the CPU tier list, three of the five new DLC fighters are really, really good. Now, Byleth isn't on this list. That's because they haven't come up with a new list since the release of Byleth, but it's generally agreed upon that Byleth is going to be a really, really good CPU.
So do me a favor, if you will. I'm going to read off some names just in the high to top plus tier section of this tier list, and I want you to take a guess as to what they all have in common. Incineroar, Hero, Terry, Isabel, King K. Rool, Banjo, Ridley, arguably Byleth. Most tier lists have Byleth up in this range. Link, Pokemon Trainer, Piranha Plant, and Snake. What do they all have in common? Let's think this through for a second. First of all, there's a couple of DLC characters in there, but some of them aren't. So that's out of the blue. That's not going to happen. Most of them aren't veterans, however, but a few of them are. So what do they have in common? The thing that they all have in common is that with Ultimate, their AI was rewritten. For example, Link's Smash 4 CPU AI was actually copied and pasted into Young Link, and Link was given his own AI. In fact, he was actually patched a couple of patches ago. Ken, for example, borrows from Ryu's AI. This is not unusual for Echoes or similar characters to borrow their other opponent's AI. But these 12 characters with Ultimate have new AI. It was brand new, maybe because the character was new or because they weren't in Smash 4. There was nothing that the developers could base them on. So one thing that you see a lot with Amiibo is that the AI in Smash 4 and Ultimate is the same. Now, I won't get into all the reasons of how we know Young Link has Link Smash 4 data. I won't get into that. Take my word for it at the moment, and you can ask me in the comments below. Please do. Please leave a like, subscribe, comment, that sort of thing. But we know that newer AI, typically, there's a couple of new AI down in the bottom parts of the tiers, but typically new AI tends to be better than old AI. So how does this translate to Amiibo? Well, as we've discussed in previous videos, when a CPU does better, typically the Amiibo does better as well. So what we may have to learn from this is that if we're about to get it's not confirmed, but if we get 5 DLC characters with top tier CPUs, they're going to be top tier Amiibo. And we're going to have 6 more characters after that. We might be facing down power creep as an Amiibo scene. Now, right now in the meta, we've got Bowser and Incineroar banned, okay? Incineroar is the best Amiibo to ever grace the meta. Bowser is the second best Amiibo to ever grace the meta. After that, things get fuzzy. There's talk of a Ness ban. Personally, I don't have strong feelings about the Ness ban, but And this is the main point of this video. If we're going to have an issue with power creep, we're going to have to start talking about, do we ban characters? So here's what we do after the DLC Amiibo release. This pretty much always happens, but first we enter the hell out of them in everything we possibly can. Every tournament, okay? Train them, enter the hell out of them. We want to see, are they good or not? And then, if they're good, how good are they? Are they power creep? Are they as good as Bowser and Incineroar? Or are they better? Personally, I think a few of them will actually be better, which worries me. So, having determined if they're power creep, let's say that they are. Let's say that they're better than anything that's ever come before. What do we do then? We can either ban them and maybe even unban Bowser and Incineroar because they're not ban worthy compared to the new top of the metagame. We can ban them and keep everything banned, and the list of bans gets longer and longer and longer, which just makes for an unfavorable meta. It's not fun for newcomers to find out that half their amiibo they can't use, or we just don't ban them at all, and we just let the new 5, 4, 3, however many amiibo completely dominate the scene. But there might be another solution, which is an actual solution instead of just taking what we get. And we can put it into place today or tomorrow. It's pretty late. What if we come together as a scene and we decide we need concrete criteria for what makes something bannable and what doesn't? Not just complaints, not just a overarching narrative of this character is annoying, but an actual criteria. We banned Bowser. You can probably see this in one of Splice's videos. The Amiibo has a Bowser problem. We banned Bowser because he won everything. We banned Incineroar because he won everything. Ness doesn't necessarily win everything, but he does win a lot. Okay? What happens if we get 3 ban-worthy Amiibo at the same time? We need to have criteria prepared ahead of time. Otherwise, we're not going to know what the hell to do. So, I don't really have any proposals for this at the moment. Frankly, this is all kind of new to me. So, please leave a comment below saying what you think we should do. What criteria do you think would make something ban-worthy or not? And I will read over them, and I might even make a video on your responses. But until then, Amiibo Doctor,